explanation of where I'm going to be going with this project over the next few weeks and months, and also just give you an idea of what I've actually been doing to move the project forward as well. I've been trying to get the whole car running, and it does run with the chipped P28 ECU I have, but I've had a number of problems because I'm using the individual throttle bodies. My first issue is at low RPM, the map sensor is reading almost atmospheric pressure, and as you go to open the inlet, there's not much change in that pressure, so it doesn't seem to run too well like that. The inlet fuel pressure is not really proportional to the air entering the engine, so that gives you an issue because the engine just doesn't run on the standard map that's there. The fuel curve would need to be much steeper to incorporate that effect. It's very sensitive to small changes, so things like it can go very lean if the atmospheric pressure changes, say if you change altitude and things like that. Also, at idle, the ITBs would need probably a lot more fuel than if I use a standard inlet manifold plenum. Okay, so here's some of the things to do. The standard method is the speed density method, and the method I'm going to go to is called alpha N. So the speed density method relies on using the map sensor heavily, so the atmospheric pressure for the inlet pressure, whereas the alpha N uses throttle position primarily. The standard method is obviously with an inlet plenum, so an inlet manifold, whereas the ITBs are, would tend to need to be used alpha N. And the ECU, the standard Honda ECU uses the speed density method, and what I'm going to need to go is to the Hondata ECU. So now where I'm going to be going with this whole project, is I'm going to be, obviously bought the Hondata S300 ECU version 3, so that comes with all the benefits of having the Bluetooth to your tablet and things like that. I'm going to fit a fuel pressure regulator, a catch can, so I don't have to worry about oil dripping down the back of my engine. I'm going to use an electric vacuum pump from, I think it's Land Rover or Range Rover, just so I can get some good assistance on the brake pedal. I'm actually going to move up to 280mm front brakes, and I'm going to change the front LCAs and run a different anti-roll bar as well. Then in terms of gauges, I'm going to run a whole raft of gauges, wideband lambda so I can see how my tuning's going, oil pressure and temp, water temperature, and fuel pressure and voltage. Some of the other things I'm going to show you in terms of the videos I'm going to be making, the engine first start, so that's quite important, some of the preparation you have to do and things you have to do before you start the engine for the first time. Bleeding the radiator, also I'm going to need to put in an adapter for the water temperature sensor as well. Use this I'm going to use a sandwich plate. As you noticed, when I built the engine I couldn't fit the sandwich plate, but I've actually got an extension so I can run that oil pressure sender, so I'm going to show you all that. And then I could put the braces back on, strut braces, and show you camber setting as well. At the moment I've got fully adjustable suspension in terms of its geometry on the front and the back, and I need to bring the wheels in a bit because at the moment I'm running quite a lot of negative camber, not really my choice, but that's what it was set up to do initially. So, okay, that's what I'm going to take you through, and I will show you the videos of the coming weeks.